All right. I'm here in lovely San Diego at the TDWI conference, and I'm here with Jeff Zeisler. Jeff, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you,
So,
Bart?
doing fine, thanks. So, Jeff, what do you do for Aster?
I'm the director of pre-sales engineering. I manage all of our sales engineers worldwide.
Cool. So maybe you could tell me a little bit about the architecture for the Aster Data solution.
Yeah. So Aster's an MPP data warehouse solution, massively parallel processing. So we run a cluster of commodity hardware machines that execute SQL queries in parallel. And we really have three layers to our architecture. The primary of which, or the top, is what we refer to as the queen. It's the central location that users connect to submit queries. It's also what does most of the query planning when they come in. So a query comes in, decides how to split it up and send it to the next tier, which is called the worker tier. And that's where the majority of the servers are located. It's where the data is stored locally on each one of those machines. And it's where all the heavy lifting is done from a query execution perspective. So the query comes in, gets broken up across all these machines. They each execute some portion of that query. Then the results are brought back together at the queen and returned to the user. The third layer is what we call the loader and exporter tier. And it's a separate tier of machines that can be used to load new data into the system. So if you need to do very performant bulk loading, we can scale that tier as much as is needed in order to inject as much data into the system to meet sort of SLAs for loading, that type of thing.
Cool. So now, where does MapReduce come in here? I know you're working with SQL MapReduce.
Yeah. So the MapReduce framework is actually built right into the worker tier. So alongside the SQL execution engine is also a MapReduce engine. And that's done on purpose to avoid having to ship data over the network in order to get it to an application execution environment. So we have our own implementation of MapReduce. It runs right on top of the database where the data lives, and again in parallel across every server in the world.
And then last but not least, what are some cool things that are coming up that we should look for?
So we've got a couple big releases planned in the next 6 months or so. I think the most exciting parts of those are what we're doing with our analytics framework. So what we've enabled with having the MapReduce inside of the database is for people to do things beyond SQL, right? So small functions that can do things like time series analysis and market basket analysis. These are libraries that we ship with the product and our customers can make use of. And we're developing that library of functions dramatically. So we'll be adding things for graph analysis and for new statistical packages and stuff like that. So there'll be a lot more that you can do out of the box leveraging our analytics framework.
Excellent. Jeff Zeisler, thank you so much.
Thank you.